bring that real talk when it comes to sports, covering the news, giving you the truth. Nothing but that real on hoops in the league. All things NFL, we don't miss a thing. Getting with the coverage, we loving it all day. Picking up the news, tell us wherever the ball lay. With the NFL, NBA, they box so sports news in the hands of a man with fair takes. Tell them, coach, statistics and realness that's being spoke. Either hit it for the win or they hitting the goal posts. Either way, we woke up to the news of the day. Any kid could call it, he like to talk it out with Ray. Fast breaks down the lane, they better move out the way, or they pulling from perimeter. Curry bury the trade, yeah they got it. Woo! Duval with the hottest, Chris and Dev like the master, and mix it up like it's Logic being modest. They been looking for that real, trying to get it feel. Sports podcast, they running back on the real. That's a steal, yeah. They never sick, but they ill. Real sports talk going, deliver signed and sealed. We bring that real talk when it comes to sports, covering the news, giving you the truth. Nothing but that real on hoops in the league. All things NFL, we don't miss a thing.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have a new and improved intro by my man. Actually, Kenny, who did that? Who's on that?
Oh yeah, shout out to my guy Temple Ty that's on the verse, and I produced the music. So yeah.
You produced that for real?
Yes, sir.
Oh, all right. And I edited it. So it's a team sport here. Y'all provided some great content there, some big hits, because that's what we do here. We keep it real. But what up, Rob? What's up, fellas? We got Rob in the building.
Rob,
how y'all
good?
out there today? No basketball, no sports to watch. This is brutal. How y'all doing?
Hey man, we better get used to this because in about a week or so we're gonna be hurting.
We're gonna turn baseball fans. It's cool.
I tried to get into the thing. Man, it ain't it. I don't even know if that's on tonight. I was like this. Before I came down, like, dang, I ain't gonna have nothing to watch while we got the show going on. Like, I got focus totally on y'all and y'all bad takes, but that's cool. Damn, what's going on with you, man?
Nothing, man. Chilling, man. Out here just grinding. You know, my 107th thought is out, available right now. Check me out.
All right, love to hear it. Chris, what's going on with you, sir?
Man, nothing much, man. Just enjoying the summer. Just dropped a new podcast recapping the Sixers season and that playoff run. You know, almost shed a tear talking about that playoff run, man. I took a deep breath. Like, I can't believe we're second round exit again, man. But go check it out. Link in my bio. Instagram, Twitter, sportsw_Chris. And yeah, just disappointed Philly fans, man. All year, just a bunch of disappointment, Kenny. As I sat back and realized it, man, just a whole bunch of heartbreaks this year.
I would say that I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm not. I'm actually that you are in misery, as I have also shared in misery. I saw a graphic the other day. I don't know if I have it readily available. But since like 2000, it was like playoff wins. Washington was really low on the list.
Hey, but y'all were above the Knicks, so
I was about to say. But do you know what brought me some solace
I
in
bet
that
did.
place that I was in?
I bet that did.
Just a couple notches below were the New York Knicks, and that warmed my heart because earlier this year I was getting crushed as if my team was terrible. When over the last 23 years, we're better than them bums. So, shout out to the
That
Knicks.
ain't exactly saying much because we've been bad for like half the century, so that ain't saying much.
Small wins.
Hey, I get it.
Baby steps.
I get it.
But glad to have y'all here. Glad to have y'all here. We are at a place I didn't think we'd be. I will not lie to y'all. 1-1 NBA Finals. I think Adam Silver, actually, I'll save that for a little bit, but we are 1-1 in the finals. However, we ended up here. So I want to start off with just kind of everybody's take. I think we all pretty much felt Denver would do damage. Kenny went as so bold as to proclaim a double-digit victory on social media. He set out there for the world to hold him accountable to. Kenny, I'm going to start with you. What happened?
Well, first of all, before I get into that, let me make sure anybody that needs any jingles, any music work done, go to knmcollective.com right there at the bottom of the screen, and let us help you bring your creative ideas to life. Love to work with you. So, shameless plug out the way. What happened was Miami shot the ball, shot the lights out, and we talked about that on Monday, and I said that the only way that they're going to be able to be competitive or to win a game is to really shoot the ball really well, and that's what they did. Like, they shot 50% from three. Like, that's unheard of in a game, to shoot 50% from three. Like, shooting 50% from the field is a rarity, but to shoot 50% from three, that's really was the difference in this ball game. And I think the other, and even having said that and having them, them shooting so well, Denver still had the ball with a chance to tie the game up at the end. So, if I'm a Denver fan, while, of course I don't want to lose, but I wouldn't really, be too concerned, because as bad as they played, they still had an opportunity to tie the game up on the last possession. So, and I know, I'm sure Michael Malone is going to make the adjustments. And I think the biggest thing, and this is my last thing that I'm going to say, is that he's really going to have to take a look at Michael Porter Jr. and really monitor his minutes, because to me, he was the weak link last night. He wasn't hitting shots defensively. He was missing a lot of assignments, and we already knew that he wasn't the strongest defender coming in. So, but they were really going at him, and also going at Jokic, putting him in ball screens and making him guard in space. So that just a credit again to Eric Spoelstra. He's such a great coach. But I think that Michael Malone is really going to monitor Michael Porter Jr.'s minutes in this next game, because if he's not hitting shots, he's really not helping that team. So it's going to be interesting to see what the adjustment is. I saw, you saw a Christian Brown sighting. He played a lot of minutes. Bruce Brown played his normal minutes, but I'm curious to see how quick he is to pull the trigger on bringing those bench guys in and cutting down Michael Porter Jr.'s minutes. So those are my takeaways from the game.
Okay, cool. Appreciate you standing in that. I know it's not always easy to do. Accountability is hard, especially if you're a woman, but we got men here, so appreciate you.
You trying to start something. I ain't going down that road. No way.
Appreciate the honesty there, Kenny. Chris, how did we get to 1-1?
Because Miami's legit, for one. For two, that 3-point shooting, can you talk about how they shot 50%, and that isn't heard of, but this playoffs, they're shooting about 39%. So they've been living and dying by that 3-point line. So the fact that I looked at game one and I look at Strus shooting 0 for 9 from the three, I didn't see a repeat. I did not see him going 0 for 9 in game two. I knew he was going to hit at least 3 to 4 threes in his next game. I knew starting K-Love was a big adjustment. And that's why, I say this is going to be a competitive series, because you have two coaches that are willing to make adjustments in game or for the next game. And that, to me, bringing in K-Love, you get extra rebounding, you get floor spacing, you get a guy that's been there before, you get a guy that's not going to be a mismatch when Eric Gordon's in the paint or when a Michael Porter Jr. gets a cut. So that was a huge move by Spo. And when I look at adjustments that Miami made, they made their adjustments for game two. I'm curious to see, like Kenny said, what Malone's going to do for game three. How are you going to get Murray more involved? How are you going to get your shooters more involved? And also, when I look at MPJ, shameless parlay plug, you ruined him for me, Michael Porter Jr. But when I look at him, when he's not hitting shots, sometimes his body language goes down. And that that's a bad sign, because that's a guy that you can see is only cares about one side of the floor. And, Malone said that this has been his best defensive year, but it's still below average. So, yes, he can give you some rebounds being 6'10", but if he's not guarding anybody out there, he's not hitting shots, he's really a liability. And being at 6'10", that's a problem because you're supposed to be a mismatch out there. So, like Kenny said, I'm curious to see if he's not hitting shots, where he's going to go. Game 3 in Miami, I don't want to say I'm leaning towards Miami, but I love how they're. I don't want to say I'm leaning towards Miami, but I love how they're playing. What Bam's doing, a lot of people, it's funny. People are so excited about what Bam's doing, but this to me is like what he's supposed to be doing. I'm not shocked. I'm not overly excited. I'm not, oh my God, Bam's doing it. No, this was basically Bam averages during the year. This is what I know Bam could do. So if anything, I expect more. I expect more from Jimmy Butler because right now the role players, especially Gabe Vincent, is really, not saving his team but keeping them alive. So, I know Jimmy Butler carried him to this point, but it's time for him to stop coasting and really take over, show what he did, the first round, the second round, the first couple of games of that Boston series. But this is a competitive series. It wasn't going to be easy for Denver. Miami's going to make it tough. And, I had Denver 4-2, by the way. I'm not going to. Yeah, I had Denver 4-2. I know Miami's going to take a couple of games, but that man Jokic, he's going to show why he's the best player in the league these next couple of games.
Okay, I like it. Good insight there. Dev, your thoughts?
I had said it right at the end of the show. I said, man, the way Miami was still competitive in Game 1 without that 3-point shooting, kind of scary for them because once they find that 3-point shot, it was going to be Miami was going to be able to stay in games or maybe to find a way to sneak a game out. And that's exactly what happened was Strus finally showed up. Gabe Vincent finally, they didn't let that Game 1 get to him. And that was the most thing about that game last night. It was their confidence into the game. They didn't wait for Jimmy Butler to get going, or they didn't even really wait for Bam to get going. They went straight into it and went straight at Denver. And Denver responded, getting hit in the face a couple of times because it was late in the game, like late in the third quarter, where Denver was up by almost double digits, if not double digits. But it's just Miami is a team that you just can't sleep on no more. These guys is always find ways to steal a game on the road, man, whether it's in Boston, whether it's in Milwaukee, now it's in Denver. They find a way to steal the game and make it competitive. I'm with you, Chris, man. Bam, only thing I'm more impressive is Bam looks better than what Ayton and AD did to combine, in my opinion. Bam is more competitive. Bam ain't scared, ain't letting Joker length get to him. Bam is straight taking his shots. Is where at that elbow, and he's making sure that he's making Joker work. He's not letting Joker just sitting back and wait on him. He actually making Joker move around, and that's something that AD wasn't able to do, or even Aiden. Aiden was nowhere near that.
I would agree with Aiden. AD, I would say, except for Game 2, I feel like Game 1 he put Game 1 and 3 he put pressure on Jokic.
There's no way that Jokic should have been beating you up and down the floor.
Well, I do agree with that. I do agree with that.
Bam is not letting Jokic beat him down the floor. You know what I mean? Bam is doing something that what Kevin Garnett was saying. He said, "I will meet you at the basket, and I'm gonna bump you. We're gonna play physical, going down the court to make you feel me. I know I'm not gonna really stop you, but if I can tire you out a little bit, because now you seen Jokic is going to the bench more than he did against that LA series now. So I think Miami kind of got something, but it's a series. Let's just start with that. It's a series now. It's not swinging in Denver's favor so far.
I'm just glad it wasn't a sweep. That's all I can say. I'm just glad it's not going to be a sweep.
Yeah, I kind of figured it wasn't going to be a sweep. I still got Denver 4-2. We all kind of agreed that Miami was going to get 1 or 2 out of this series. Now it's up to them to see, can they get more? Can they at least force a Game 7?
Stradamus, what you got for us?
He's with me. He picked Denver in 5.
Yeah, I picked Denver in 5. And Had I known that Adam Silver had a vested interest.
Hold on, Red. Before you continue,
Are you doing conspiracy right now?
Of course he is. Of course he is.
He is throwing Adam Silver in this conversation a lot lately, man. Like, what's up?
So wait, hold on. I'm trying to understand. Are you saying that he wants this series to go as long as possible so that he can hold off giving out the punishment for Ja? That's what you're saying?
I think that's a factor.
I just want to be clear.
Oh my goodness!
Like,
you're one of a kind.
I'm listening.
Gabe Vincent, I think, or Max Strus hits a three. Jimmy Butler clearly steps out of bounds, like blatantly blown call. Jokic gets an offensive foul on one end, turns right back down, gets a third foul right after that. There was multiple times where the ball was getting deflected out of bounds, clearly off Miami.
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
Can we talk about how they called a foul on Bam Adebayo for Jokic shooting the three and he was untouched?
Oh yeah.
Let's not act like calls not going both ways, right?
Yeah, that was a missed call.
For everyone you got.
That was worse than the out of bounds one.
No, it ain't.
That man was not touched, and they called that foul on a 3-point play. That's just as
angle
bad.
I saw looked like he hit him in his arm, so I wasn't as bad.
Yeah,
as
it looked like it, but I don't think he did.
Touch that, man.
From that
it looked like
angle, but it looked like it, but I don't think he did.
Jimmy Butler's foot was mad out of bounds.
No. That was
a lot.
Yeah, that was a bad call.
And so in these kind of games,
and with a big three too, so
huge three.
Yes.
So there were a number of those critical moments, and there was a bunch of deflections that clearly shouldn't have gone to Miami, and they did. So in a game that's close, where you get Duncan Robinson that comes to life out of nowhere, Max Strus comes out losing his mind, and then Caleb Martin finally hit one, but it was a huge one in the corner. Mm-hmm. Miami made a bunch of timely shots. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying it was all Adam Silver, but there were some very critical moments that in the game that's that close matter. If I'm Denver, I'm not that worried. I'm not worried, but the tough part about Miami is they always seem to have somebody that's going. It could be Martin, it could be Strus, it could be Bam, it could be
Vincent,
it could be Duncan, it could be Butler. Lowry's had some time. Kevin Love showed up all of a sudden, was rebounds, put some,
he played some D too. I got to give him some credit.
Michael Porter in the corner. That was good defense. That to me showed it was not Michael Porter's day. When you get claimed by Kevin Love like that.
And I don't know straight up when Michael Porter signed that deal.
Hold up.
I don't
he did clamp him up though. That's real talk.
I don't think he's that guy for real. I think I said it on here a couple times. He has one move. He could be open. He will still take a dribble and a hop step to shoot. Like that's all he got. I think he put the ball on the floor one time and he made a running floater. Someone was like, oh no, he got the ball. It was a late shot clock and
he definitely
a little runner. Yeah.
I didn't even know he had that in the game. I was shocked he even made it. And Jamal Murray just didn't show up enough. Like, I get it, but we still need the playoff Jamal Murray that was getting near 30 a game. Like, I left after game one saying who should be the MVP. Last game, it was obvious that one guy is going to be the MVP. The other guy did not show up in the capacity he needed to show up in.
Absolutely.
Had a chance to tie the game, missed it. Jamal Murray, I know, don't usually miss that shot.
Let me ask y'all real quick. I'm sorry. So, because you mentioned that, I just gave him a thought. What did y'all think of that play? Did y'all think that the coach should have called timeout, or did y'all like the fact that he didn't call timeout?
That's a great shot, in my opinion.
I like the fact they didn't call timeout only because you didn't give Miami a chance to really get set on defense.
Yes.
You don't know what spell was going to go out there. What kind of it really could have messed them up. And like Ray said, he got a shot that you're 100% of Malone. You're 1,000 times out of 1,000. You're confident Jamal Murray taking that shot for the game winner.
Yeah, I'm with Chris. Yeah. I'm with Chris on that one because if Miami was if Denver was trying to call that timeout, Miami still had a foul to give. You know what I mean? To still kind of set up a defensive, setup. So I think it was cool that they didn't call that timeout.
But Dev, and I was going to get to that point. If he hits that shot,
Yeah, now it bites you.
Eric Spoelstra and not fouling, look away. Now you can let him off the hook, but
only thing about that though, Ray, is that in a scramble situation like that, I think you only do that if you call a timeout and you're able to Chris's point, you're able to set your defense to know when to foul. So, like in other words, we're saying either he's fouling on the catch, first dribble, like before he gets into a shot, like that has to be established in the huddle. I think it's hard to do that on a broken court.
Do you remember who was guarding Jamal Murray?
Say that again.
Who was guarding Jamal Murray on that shot?
Butler.
I trust Jimmy Butler. I don't need a timeout.
I know, but I'm just saying
it's still tricky. You never know where he could have put that shot up.
Yeah, that would have to be discussed beforehand because I don't know if he's going to just arbitrarily on his own.
That's Caleb Martin, Gabe Vincent, Duncan Robinson. I 100% agree with y'all. Jimmy Butler, I believe, has the mindset to know when he can and can't foul. And there was a time when Jamal Murray initially tried to go. Jimmy stopped him, and he had to back it back out. At that point, I fouled. But he let him then he was going backwards. I fouled him.
Maybe Jimmy was just confident in the defense. I was
just about to say.
Maybe he was just confident in defense and didn't want to take a chance.
That was a great shot. Your defense wasn't good enough.
It was at the end. He got a good look, but he had to work for it. So maybe
that's a rhythm for Jamal Murray to me. Like that's what he wants in that position. Outside of a catch and shoot, I think that's as good as you get. It wasn't that deep. It was off on the left wing, which he's more than capable of.
No, it looked good coming out of his hand.
Oh, I thought it was money. I thought it was money.
Yeah,
I thought it was money.
Overtime. Yeah,
he had 8 points in the fourth. I thought it was money.
For me, that was a defensive mistake. For me, they got bailed out. It didn't cost them, but I would revisit that going forward because that could have went very different. But if I'm Denver, I'm confident. Murray was played okay. Porter was bad. Aaron Gordon didn't have the same game that he had. I do think Denver struggled a bit with the zone down the stretch. They was going in and out of it.
Yes,
that caused Jamal Murray to shoot a really bad shot in the corner on one possession. So the way they mixed that in and out, I thought was good coaching. I agree with y'all. I wouldn't have called the timeout if I was Denver. I trust my people, and I think he got a good shot. So I'm glad, like y'all, that looks like we do have a series. I am not as confident as y'all. I think I can see Miami winning both of these games at home. Not easily, but
it's doable.
I think. Oh no, it is. Yeah. I don't think anybody would be surprised if they won.
That's another one. Y'all got on Michael Porter Jr. for his defense. KCP got to learn to stop fouling.
100%. It's been bad all playoffs. It's been bad all playoffs.
Leaving your feet against jump shooters. I teach my kids that all the time. Like
you're
taking yourself out of the play, and then 9 times out of 10 you're gonna foul. Stay on the ground.
And he had the one. It was like late in the shot clock, like a second left. You reach in and you foul a shooter from 3.
Yeah, it's been bad all playoffs. And Tommy Mullen, I feel like.
Oh yes, he ain't the only one. That's 4 or 5 fouls. Van Gundy has been as religiously referred to fouling jump shooters, shooting threes. He's been talking about that the whole playoffs.
That's terrible.
So Michael Malone came out. He's pretty fiery. I think he has a good enough rapport and relationship with his guys. I don't think it'll be an issue, but I saw a lot of opportunity for Denver, but they lost. And so now you got yourself a whole new ball game. Miami is going to be lit. Every star that Denver has in Miami will be in Miami.
Hey, well, at least we got a Alex English side. At least you had like a legit Nuggets dude that put some work in.
Yeah, is he even?
I can remember. At least I was old enough to see him play.
Like
I don't know about y'all, but I remember.
I forget who they showed game 1, but that bum was like
Dan Issel. That dude, man, he from the ABA. Like I wasn't even alive for that.
Dad out of here. Like, come on now.
Hey, did y'all see that picture? I'm gonna see if I can. Did y'all see that picture of Terrell Davis?
Yeah,
with the Heat fans around him. Oh, that was so funny.
Down bad. Speaking of people down bad, Tyler Herro. I don't know if y'all saw. there's rumors that he's nervous about coming back because of what we talked about.
We said it.
You going back home 1-1. I'm going to just pitch it to y'all, and I'll start with you, Dev. Do you insert Tyler Herro going back 1-1 after the win you just had?
No, I said that I wouldn't assert him back. This guy, if you're not confident, why I'm confident in putting you in? You know what I mean? It does that don't even make sense. So no, because number one, now that you feeling unsure about your health, about you getting fouled, you getting slapped, which means you can be passive. What you going to be out there do cardio? Nah, dog. You can do cardio in practice. Nah, you ain't. Like I said, even if you can just try to be a decoy, you got to at least take a couple shots. You got to make the defenders respect you, and if you're not going to make nobody respect you, then they're not going to respect you. They're going to do what Caitlin Clark did to that girl for South Carolina and just wave you off and say, "I dare you to shoot." So you know what I mean?
So disrespectful.
I'm not inserting Tyler Herro, man. You got to show me confidence other than you just doing okay in one-on-ones against your trainers. Because if the trainers is not going to hurt you, you know what I mean? I want to see you go against the G League, something like in that nature to see that you're confident enough to play against in this series. But if you ain't confident, no go. You no good to me.
Okay. Chris, what you think?
I mean, to Dev's point, confidence is key. And when you look at Tyler Herro, he's only out there for one reason: to put the ball in the basket. So if you're not confident in your game, are you going to be confident in scoring? And when I look at what he brings to this team, he's another shot maker, shot creator, can make plays if needed for others. And that's something I feel like Miami Heat will need at some point this series, especially with Jimmy Butler not being as aggressive as you would want him to be. You have to rely on Gabe Vincent, who, no disrespect, but this is his first time we see him put on an outing like this. Can he be consistent? So if he wasn't, what's up, Rod? If he wasn't lacking confidence, then I would say, of course, you put him back, in the lineup. That's me. So I think you need another guy that can create shot opportunities. And I'm not saying start him, but bringing him off the bench, having him play 10 to 15 minutes game 3, just to see where he's at. But if he's not confident, I'm nervous putting it back in there. I'm nervous. But if all this is just to throw Denver off and you just, throwing smoke in the media, that you would hope that's what it's for. And he comes in guns blazing, knocking down some shots. But, if he's not confident, he's not playing for me.
Kenny.
Yeah, I agree. I think the other thing is, I was listening to the radio as I was driving home from practice a little while ago, and they were saying that he still has some swelling in his hand. So if he still has some swelling in his hand, that means that hand hasn't fully healed. And if that hand hasn't fully healed, then you can't put him out there because you're putting him at risk. So I'm definitely not putting him out there. If he's not feeling confident, to Chris's point, if he's not feeling sure, and he's got swelling in that hand, which means that hand is unstable. So, and we already talked about it, that, everybody is going to be smacking on that thing. It's the minute he comes in the game. So if he already has swelling in it and he doesn't feel comfortable and confident in that hand, then no, you can't play him.
I agree, but I'm going to go a step further. Until I lose, he will not see the floor. You are not going to mess this up. And to be perfectly honest, I don't see nobody he can take no minutes from right now. Like, I'm not cutting Caleb Martin's minutes, who he went to the bench this game.
That's fair.
I'm not cutting Strus minutes, especially off the game he's coming off of. I'm not taking Vincent's minutes. I might give Butler a break, maybe a little longer, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But Duncan Robinson, for what it's worth, when he got called upon, he showed up. So he didn't even get that many minutes last game. So I'm gonna take more of his minutes. And Bam's been playing out of his mind. I would argue he's been their MVP so far. So
yeah.
And then Kevin Love just showed up. So I don't know where the minutes come from to take that kind of risk. I did not hear about the swelling, so that is even easier decision for me. Oh, you definitely ain't about to play. You might not even suit up if I'm
cardio. He just out there just to go.
You know, I already got a cardio player, and he gets his cardio on the bench. UD, we got enough of those. So
Man, you never miss a chance, boy. Boy, you never miss a chance to take a shot.
I like your funny words, Magic Man.
I mean, that's really my issue. I don't know where. And then it's not like he's a defensive guy, so I can't even put you out there to play
Right.
defense.
Right.
So if you can't shoot, and I got potentially better, hotter shooters right now, like what the heck you gonna do?
Cardio.
Over there and cheerlead with your ugly outfits. Like that's the best you got.
Is that like a personal attack or something?
I mean, y'all see what I see. And after Jack Harlow turned his back on him and wore the Boston jacket, you don't even have like street cred no more. So I just don't see what Tyler Herro has to offer at this point. Rest up, get that hand well, because we probably will trade you at this point. You and Victor Oladipo can take y'all broken bodies and go from there.
Run that back again? You say what happened?
You think he's on the block?
They got decisions to make. Like
They just gave him a contract, though.
I
They
was
did.
say, yeah. I thought
yeah, and I got a bunch of undrafted guys that do I want to let them walk out the door? Like the money got to come from somewhere.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's going to be hard to unload Robinson's contract because he's playing good, but I don't think nobody wants that max deal. So the more valuable player, probably the most valuable player you have to trade is Tyler Herro. I don't think anybody want Kyle Lowry's deal. Jimmy
Duncan got a max?
Oh yeah, they overpaid Duncan.
Oh, yeah, Duncan got that bag. You remember Duncan getting the bag?
Yeah.
I remember him getting the bag, but I didn't know it was the max bag.
Nah, Duncan got that bag.
It was a Gordon Hayward type bag at some, or maybe Chandler Parsons. I think Gordon Hayward was even more. But
And he only getting 2 minutes a game? Oh my goodness, boy.
what the heck I'm gonna do with Tyler Herro?
Wow.
Oh, I didn't know. Once Bray said max, I had to look up real quick. I said, hold on, we still talking about Duncan, right?
Yeah, Duncan got paid. I'll look up his contract, but it was that's why he's getting so much flack.
Yeah,
He got paid.
5 years, $90 million.
Yeah,
I
something
guess
like
everything doesn't run on Duncan, huh?
And he ain't free agent until 2020.
Yeah, 5 years, $90 million. That was a free agent until 2026.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
Hey.
good luck moving that.
Yeah, he only get 2 minutes a game. Nobody's not going to want 2 minutes a game for no 90 mil.
Well, I'll say this: in the playoffs, we seen that Duncan Robinson that got that contract. Well, let me say not got that contract, but
he's worth 60 mil right now. You know, what I mean, still that
Nah,
30 mil is
about
still
40.
left in. No, that 30 mil is still left in the regular season that we ain't see.
10 points in 17 minutes, not bad.
That is good production.
Okay, I think
I didn't say it was worth the contract. I said it's
I'm
not
not saying.
bad. I didn't say it's worth the
Austin Reeves
contract.
is going to be cheaper than that, and Austin Reeves is a much better player.
Oh, I don't know about that. They saying he could get up to 100 million. I read a report.
$100 million.
I read a report.
They
The
said
Lakers
him
is willing to go up to 100
Yeah,
million for
between
Austin Reeves.
him and it's another guy that's also a big free agent. Ketis.
Hachimura.
Somebody give Jalen Brunson got $100 million. If Austin Reeves gets $100 million,
I'm just telling you what the report say.
If Austin Reeves gets 100 mil, he best to be in that starting lineup next year, and he best to get his Jalen Brunson on.
What y'all think Gabe Vincent gonna get?
Oh, he's gonna get paid too.
who?
Gabe Vincent gonna get paid.
That's my issue with Miami. They got these undrafted guys is super cheap, and now they about to be really expensive. So, good luck.
But now you got a point though. They're gonna have to make some decisions. Like one of those guys may be on the move at the end of this year because I don't think they want Gabe Vincent going walking out the door because Lowry is probably done after this year. If you know, so
yeah, but you don't want to lose true receiver.
That's what I mean. Like they're gonna have to make some decisions because they can't afford to.
It's gonna be Duncan and Tyler.
I think they're gonna lose Martin.
Be out of there.
I think they're gonna lose Martin. I think Martin's gonna be the guy that also.
No, Caleb got a deal. Because I thought he was up too, but he got a 3-year deal last year.
Oh,
so he ain't going nowhere.
Okay.
He got 3 years, $20 million.
Gabe 1.7 mil a year. let's just say he's about to get a huge pay raise.
He's about
You
to
got that
get
right.
paid 10 minimum a year.
Absolutely. Definitely.
I said it before, and I know you said we are this offseason, as we end, we won't have much to watch, but this NBA offseason,
Oh, yeah.
He
We'll
led-
definitely have some stuff to talk about in July.
the Clippers got some decisions to make,
say
the
this
Warriors
every
got some
year.
decisions to make, the Celtics,
the Lakers.
the Lakers.
I'm ready for a big trade. This is what I need to solve. We say this every year. I'm ready for a team.
But I'm saying it's always action, and
No, it's
July
always
1st.
listen. There's always action,
don't know,
especially if you
not
love
that-
the NBA.
Yeah.
It's always little moves. Like I remember we talked about the Brogdon move and the Gardner. Those are small moves on paper, but big moves when you know what's up. But at this point, I'm ready to see a big star get traded. I'm ready to talk about that.
I mean, KD and Kyrie got traded last year.
No, I need another one.
He wants one in the
greedy.
offseason.
Uh,
You might. Well, we'll get to it later on. We'll see what happens.
Very well. Quick stat. Joker has scored 40 points these playoffs. Denver is 0-3 in those games. Draymond Green on his podcast, I don't know what it's called. It might be Draymond Green's podcast. Basically said their philosophy was Jamal Murray is the head in Denver, not Joker. Coach, your thoughts and do you agree?
No, I don't. Because the offense runs through Jokic. So, but I get why he says that, because they're at their best when Jamal Murray is rolling. So I can see why he would say that. I think what he was saying was what you try to do is take away Jamal Murray because you really can't do anything with Jokic. So I think that's what he meant, was that you try to take Murray away, well, not take him away, but slow him down, and then and I think that was the Heat's game plan last night, is they kind of just let Jokic do his thing. They weren't really doubling off him. They was playing him straight up and, letting him score and not be that facilitator. So I think that's what he was saying, but I don't think he's the head. It's still Jokic for me. But I get what he meant by it, though.
And just a quick update. I checked. I just haven't opened the ESPN app. The Stanley Cup is 4-0 in the second period. So not a lot of competition there. And Vegas is up 1-0. So shout out to Vegas. Tom Brady, part owner in Vegas. Vegas is popping. Las Vegas are starting the year great.
Yeah, and the A's is supposed to be moving there from Oakland. So they Vegas is definitely popping. And it's the Draymond Green podcast. Nothing special. That's the name of it. I just looked it up.
Chris, your thoughts?
I get what you're saying. Everything goes to Jokic, but that has to be your philosophy. If you want somebody to get going, and score a lot of points on the Nuggets, you want it to be Jokic, because Jokic to me is at his best, and we all can agree when he gets others involved. Yes, Jamal Murray, he has 10 assists. Jamal Murray can play make, but it's something different when you got a 7'1" guy that can make every single pass on the floor, that doesn't have to dribble 27 times to get a shot, that is 3 moves, boom, boom, quick and easy offense. So, yes, Jokic is getting 40 points. He can get that every game if he wants to. But holding him to 4 assists, and, we can talk about, a guy like Michael Porter not hitting all the shots, or, some guys not hitting all the shots. But I think you got to give a credit to Miami's defense. You know what you want to do. You have a game plan, and you live by it. So if that's the game plan that they want, let Jokic get his. You're going to try to contain him as much as you can, but Jokic is Jokic. He's the greatest player in the game right now for a reason. So if he's going to, get his, try to limit everybody else. But I will say this. Jamal Murray didn't have a terrible game. It's just Jokic was shooting almost every shot down the court, so he couldn't put up his normal amount of shots. He shot very efficient from the field. 7 for 15, 3 for 3-point line. I'm not saying he had a great game, but it wasn't like he was terrible. He was very efficient.
And they win the finals if he averages that.
No, absolutely not.
Then that's what we say.
Absolutely not. You're not going to win the finals with him shooting like that, but you're also not going to win the finals with Michael Porter going 1 for 6. So
I think you can win in spite of Michael Porter. You cannot win without Jamal Murray being Jamal Murray.
I disagree. I'm not saying Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. are on the same level when it comes to importance, but you need your guys. You need every single one of your guys to show up when it's time to show up. So yes, you're going to need Murray to average 20 to 25 points, which he's been doing this entire playoffs, but you're going to need everybody, and that comes from Jokic being the playmaker that he is, giving everybody easy shots. So if you stop him from doing that, it's going to be tough for the Nuggets to be successful. Not impossible, but tough.
Quick question in regards to that. Why is Reggie Jackson getting no clock? Did he just forget how to play basketball?
That's
Nah, I just think the NBA just forgot about him.
I don't.
No,
that's a very good question.
I think he
don't
can
know.
help. I think he can help them.
I do
I
too.
thought he, when they brought him in, another dude I'm surprised is not getting no minutes is Thomas Bryant because he was really good with the Lakers. He was good with Washington. So I'm surprised that he's not getting any minutes.
I just think Malone is real. He's sticking with what's working right now, and you got Bruce Brown.
What's up, Gordon?
You got Bruce Brown that could play. He's subbing in 1 through 4. He's either gonna come in for Murray, he coming through KCP, he coming for Gordon, coming from MPJ. So Bruce Brown is really that do-it-all guy off the bench. Jeff Green's really the backup center at this point, and other Browns, he's just giving them hustle minutes. So I think Malone's sticking to that 6-7 man rotation, and he's just going what works. And I think Reggie Jackson can definitely help. I definitely think, a guy like Thomas Bryant could help, especially against Bam. They put in Zeller. I'll put in Thomas Bryant, try to offset that a little bit, try to offset Bam, a guy that's going to be physical with Bam. But
Give him a different look.
Yeah,
give him a different look.
But on the offensive end as well.
Yeah, but if it's not broke, don't fix it. And I think right now what Denver's doing is not broke. It got him here, and I say stick with it.
Okay.
No, I'm surprised. Like I said, I'm surprised that Reggie Jackson hasn't gotten any minutes because, he came in the league coming off the bench and bringing, even back in his OKC days, when he first got into the league, he would come in the league. I mean, he would come in off the bench and really provide a spark to that team. So it's not a role that's foreign to him. It's something that he's done before. So I don't think it would be a problem. I know he's been a starter for a long time since he's left OKC. But you don't forget, how to play a role once you've done it before. So it's a little surprising to me. I think that could be a possibility in terms of adjustments to Gordon's point. I think that could be an adjustment coming further on down the line. And not further on down the line. In the next few games, you might see him getting getting some minutes. The only problem is that I don't know how effective he's going to be after you've been sitting on the bench for, I don't know, like a month. It almost seemed like, because he didn't play. He didn't play in the Lakers series that I saw, and
I just saw him get. Yeah, I only see him get garbage time minutes, and
he got
a couple
garbage
times.
time.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know how effective he's going to be, but I think he could. I think he could help them if he got the opportunity, because they really don't have a backup point guard. I guess because Jokic is really the
Jokic,
point guard that
Murray and Brown is the main ball handlers.
Yeah,
Bruce Brown is their do-it-all guy.
Bruce Brown, and that's another guy. That's we're talking about guys who's going to get paid in the offseason. Bruce Brown, I think, is going to get paid in this offseason too, because he brings a lot of value to a team, and he's on a 1-year deal if I remember right.
Real quick, imagine if the Nets got this Bruce Brown when they had KD.
They had him.
No. They didn't have him playing like this. He wasn't. His play style was different. That's what I meant.
But
He wasn't getting utilized in the way he did utilized in Denver.
No, it showed, but I didn't see him shooting threes like this, being a ball handler. Like, imagine if he was doing this with the Nets.
Different in this offense than he has in some other.
I don't know. I can't.
Yeah, I think KCP is who he is.
I've seen KCP in Washington.
He is who he is.
Because I also remember when he first came into the league.
I was surprised when they traded him. Because they traded him, I think, to Denver, I thought. Or they let him go or something.
No, we let him walk in the offseason.
Who's we?
Yeah.
The Lakers let him go in the offseason.
They had Bruce Brown?
No, I think he said KCP.
No. I was talking about Bruce. I switched back. Sorry.
Oh, okay. The Nets
let him walk.
The Nets let him walk.
Idiots.
They let him walk.
But and another guy I think
they're still on my list for the worst franchise in the past decade. So
and I said this before. I think if they're not going to use Reggie Jackson, they could use a Bones Highland right now. Like somebody.
Oh yeah.
Some buckets.
I'm sure they're kicking themselves for that deal.
I didn't understand why they let him go for basically
I
nothing.
was doing some research about that, and I think it was some I could be wrong, but the stuff that I was reading, it just seemed like a whole bunch of disagreements going on between him, the player. It was something that had to. Yes, you kicking yourself, but it was something that the business of basketball where that one just kicked in. But I do think they are missing that coming off the bench, honestly.
Yeah, I think him and Malone were butting heads. I think that's what got him sent out of town.
Well, that's a great segue, Kenny. There was this guy, and I liked him a lot. And I like rap music as well. I like in rap music when people keep it real, when their lyrics is really what they lived. However, sometimes in life, people cannot leave things alone. And so when I learned that the potential Hall of Famer, Aaron Hernandez, is actually a world-class gangster, I was surprised, but I was intrigued. And what did Netflix do right on time? Rest in peace. We have a University of Florida documentary from the Urban Meyer years. Now, we've learned that Urban Meyer has maybe not matured much in his life based on the last time I seen him.
He might have been out there partying with them for all we know.
I was getting there because we saw it like the party in Jacksonville. That ain't too far from Gainesville.
Not at all. Right up the road.
I am very excited. I have Pastor Tim and Heathen Aaron.
I like your funny words, Magic Man.
And a lot in between. So I don't know what angle this is supposed to be filmed from. I don't know how far into production they are. But Netflix and HBO typically do pretty good jobs with documentaries. So I'm excited to see this. I don't really know what to expect. I feel like we've been asking for this for a while because that collection of talent was world class.
Stupid.
But so were the personalities. So I look forward to seeing it. But Chris, as the recent college graduate, what are your expectations? Kind of what are you looking for?
Well, I remember watching the You documentary. And that I remember. Yeah, I remember watching that. When I was whenever it came out, I know I was young. Say it again.
Was that the 30 for 30 or different?
Yeah, that was 30 for 30.
That was 30 for 30. And when I saw that, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is what college is about. And that was back in the day. And and I saw something on social media saying, that when it was the best time to be a student at a school as far as with your sports team. And I feel like being a regular student back then, when the University of Florida was doing what they were doing, that school must have been off the chain. But like you said, the collection of talent, what some of the players went to go do professionally. I think it's going to be an awesome documentary. I think hopefully they highlight a lot of good that happened during that time. Of course, you got to talk about the controversies, everything that happened. Say it again.
I want the mess.
Oh, no, the mess is going to be there. But like I said, I just hope they highlight some of the good. You're going to have Tim Tebow that's really going to make sure they try to highlight the good as much as possible with him. But like I said, it was no better time to me to be a fan of that school, not only football, but basketball, what they had going on. So I'm excited to see this documentary. I can't wait for the drama. I can't wait for all the mess. But, it's going to be nice going back, taking a trip down memory lane and seeing how talented this team really was compared to, we look at the LSUs and Alabamas and Ohio States and the Georgias we have now. So it's always, a good refresher looking back to see the talent, over almost 2 decades ago.
For sure. Dev, what you think?
It is going to be very interesting. Because like you said, man, I just know that Tim Tebow is going to be highlighted as, that's going to be Tim Tebow because, he was supposed to be the born leader, the born again savior, all this other stuff. But then you got the gangster, you know what I mean? Then somebody that was sitting there throwing up gang signs, and possibly some more what was going on down there, So
touchdown celebrations hit real different.
yeah, it was just like, was Tim Tebow praising that too? So, and I also want to see, like you said, Ray, well, all those different personalities down there, even your coach personality. Like, how was things organized? How was practice structured? Like, what else was going on down there, boy? Because I'm pretty sure if your head coach is partying, I know your offensive coordinators, your special teams, but they're like, well, if coach doing it, we got all right. So you know how Florida is, boy. They like to party down there.
Absolutely.
A lot of
That's me how I know.
Team too. Kenny, the Florida resident. Your thoughts, or has there been any kind of stuff down that way as it's been leading up to it, or kind of what's it been?
No, I mean, and I live in Gator Country because Gainesville is literally like maybe 45 minutes to an hour away. So, and then of course, you got the Florida Georgia game that's here every year. So that's an event within itself. So I'm sure that everybody in this area is anticipating it highly, but I think the other part is that we didn't even talk about. Cam, stealing laptops or whatever he was doing that got him kicked out. So it's a whole bunch of angles that this, a whole bunch of turns that this story could go. Percy Harvin, I think Percy Harvin has some issues during this time down here too. So it could really be, a whole bunch of different angles that this story could go. So it's going to be real interesting to see. And, I put it in the group chat, but I also want to put it out to the audience. If you get a chance, check out Andre Wood's documentary, SOG, the Book of Ward, I think is the name of it. It's on Showtime. I checked it out over the weekend, and it was pretty good. So maybe check that one out. But, yeah, I can't wait to see this one because, to your point, Netflix really does a good job with documentaries. I'm a documentary. I don't know how you say it, documentary head. I'm one of those buffs, or however you want to put it. I'm always watching different documentaries. And the last one that I watched that was on Netflix was the one about N1, and that one was pretty good.
Oh yeah, that was dope.
Yeah, that was really good. So I'm looking forward to this one for sure.
Cool. Y'all know where I'm at with it. Like, at that time, I was a Tim Tebow fan. To this day, I feel like he got a raw deal. He's a winner. I don't care. I think he got played a little bit. Percy Harvin was from the area. Injuries kept him out, but man, you want to talk about electric. I'm a big fan. I was and still am to a certain extent a Gator fan. I don't really have a college football team anymore, but I wanted to go visit until I realized how much their out-of-state tuition was.
That's how I felt.
If you get a chance, definitely check it out. The campus is huge, and the stadium is enormous.
Yeah,
that's how I felt about the U. I wanted to go to the U.
Oh my God! After watching that documentary, I'm telling you, I said I want to go to the U. They said how much the U costs, and I said I will not be going there.
Yeah.
But listen, what?
Well, listen, hey, you don't gotta. You don't just go to South Beach. You can experience all of that stuff that you experience at the U. Just go to South Beach.
A college campus provides certain levels of safety and security that South Beach does not.
True story. That's a true story right there.
South Beach, especially today, man, they be
wild.
All the shooting that happened not that long ago down there. But quick update. I just was scrolling, and sources close to the situation, not named Kenny, believe Kyrie Irving wants to stay with the Dallas Mavericks, per the Stein line. I believe that's Mark Stein. He wants to shut down the notion that he's angling to get to LA. So we will definitely be tracking a lot of these rumors. He has already told us, don't believe what people are saying. He hasn't made a decision. If it don't come from him, but Kyrie have a job to do. So if I hear it, then I'm going to report it. Which leads me to Kyrie allegedly recruiting LeBron James. Talk about full circle. From loving being LeBron, get me away from LeBron. I apologize for leaving LeBron, to I'd be willing to play with LeBron again, to LeBron wants to get Kyrie to LA, to Kyrie is now recruiting LeBron James to Dallas. I can assure you that a good sales pitch, if I'm Kyrie, is LA taxes, Texas taxes. Very different situation. But LeBron James is a movie producer at this point. His kid has graduated. Well, no, Bryce, I believe, left.
One is still in high school.
But
Yeah,
I think
he's
he
moving
left
to
here
another
again.
school, right? And then Bronny's going to USC, so he's got a lot of ties to
Bryce
LA.
is leaving Sierra Canyon.
Yeah, he's transferred to another school. I forgot the name of the school.
So
It's just crazy how these kids can just transfer to schools, boy, just because.
I mean,
when you're
it's been for a while.
a
That's
little
been happening for years. It's just more known.
Like,
People do it.
transferring
Just
in
you
jail.
know, when my mom tried to transfer me, you know, it was just so hard. You know, it wasn't this easy.
There's nothing.
Dev, you were poorer than them. There's a difference. Like it's LeBron James. Like these.
But
these
even
kids,
but you
I
know
mean,
what though?
no,
didn't wanna move
that
don't make a
doesn't
difference either.
No, it
'cause
don't.
You could be a public school
And
all
move.
you need
I
is
know
all
somebody that
you
went
need
to
is an
4 different high
address.
schools,
That's
all
what I'm
public
saying.
schools.
That's all you need is an address to be in that district, to have a family
Y'all are
member
talking
or a friend.
public
So it's
I am
easy ways to
Oh,
move.
Campbell Hall High School.
That's it.
Where
Yes.
the hell was that at? I never heard no Campbell Hall.
I want to say,
Who went to Campbell Hall?
I was about to say, I thought maybe Robert Horry's son.
Yeah, he better go
Goes
to
there?
be playing. Campbell.
I think.
Let's not get off track. I just need to do some research.
Yeah,
to
I
see who
think
plays on his team.
I think Robert Horry's son goes there. I can't say for sure.
I wasn't gonna bring this up, but since we're here, what do we think of Bronny going to USC over the G League?
I was surprised, to be honest with you. I thought that he was a shoo-in for Team Ignite, because to me that would have been the best way for him to, well, not necessarily the best way, but I think the way to, one, prepare him, you know, playing against pros as opposed to playing against college guys, and two, you know, because he already had his NIL deal, like he didn't. Well, let me say, that's probably why he didn't do it, because he can make more money in NIL than he could playing for the G League. Although I will say, like, don't get it twisted, like the G League Ignite, some of them dudes is getting like $500,000, so it's not like, you know, it's not like they're getting
Bronny James.
I understand. That's what I'm saying. Like he might have got $1 million from Team Ignite, but I understand why he did the college thing, because the NIL deal, I think he's making like $2 million off of NIL or something like that. So I understand why he went to college. Then also he wants to, and then he's also able to stay in LA and be close to his family, and so I get why he did it.
But even
I did think
he not signed deals, because basically NIL is just a sponsorship deal. He can't get that had he gone to the Ignite.
I think the NIL is only.
I think this only relates to college.
Yeah, it's only for college.
My point is, you could just structure it different. Okay, it's not an NIL.
Oh yeah. He should have.
Like,
yeah,
he's been partnering with FaZe Clan and all them and gaming.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I'm sure.
Other stuff that I'm sure he's getting paid for. I ain't snitching. I'm just guessing.
You just you know.
His dad had a Hummer. Like we've been here before.
Throw Bronny in them.
Oh yeah, Shooting Stars, another dope movie to check out too.
You had mentioned that. So I don't know. I think it's interesting. But back to Kyrie Irving, ladies and gentlemen. What do we think? Is any of it real? Does he stay in Dallas? Does LeBron move? And I have a follow-up to that after this question, but I'll start here. What do we think happens with Kyrie Irving? Dev, I'll start with you.
As far as Kyrie and his decision, I don't know. You know what I mean? I just don't know. I don't try to read into people, but you know, Kyrie is most definitely going to keep you guessing. You know what I mean? Because 1 minute he's going to tell you, hey, don't believe the rumors, but then when you don't look at the rumors no more, it'd be like, damn, the rumors was true. You was going back to Dallas, or you was trying to get Bron to Dallas and stuff like that. So Me personally, I'd have thought I seen Kyrie come to LA, but not in the purple and gold. I would have thought LA. I thought Kyrie would have went to the Clippers, maybe. You know what I mean? Hopefully they can get a healthy Kawhi and healthy PG where he don't have to be the guy all the time again. You know what I mean? So I that's why I thought he would have went. But Bron leaving the Lakers to go to Dallas, I think that will be Dallas' worst mistake ever. You will stunt Luka's growth, in my opinion. Luka is your guy that's going to wants the ball or got to have the ball in his hand at least 85% of the time. And if you bring Bron down there, now you're now having Luka play off ball, and I don't think that's Luka's strong suit. I think him playing off ball, playing the two guy, it wouldn't fit Luka right. And we thought that Luka was frustrated last year. I know he would be frustrated if he come down and you see LeBron look at his hand and take that deep three, and he ain't even touched the ball. So, and then like I said, I just think that would stunt his growth. He wouldn't learn how to carry a team deep back into the Western Conference again. He not saying that he should take the blame, but now the blame you wouldn't say, oh, it was Luka bad game. We will overlook that and be like, oh, LeBron had a bad shooting night, but we will overlook Luka. So I think that would stunt his growth in so many different ways, and I think that would be a bad 1 year deal, in my opinion, just to get LeBron down there, because I think it's only going to be a 1 year.
Dev, I'll follow up with this then, because I disagree with that completely. But I'll ask this: can Dallas win a ring with the way Luka plays?
Not if you're not going to use a big man. No, if you don't have a big man to help him out, no.
Because you say it stunts his growth by bringing in someone like LeBron. What do you like? In what way? Because we've seen LeBron is getting to a place where he don't want the ball in his hands as much. He's willing to defer, but when he need to be that guy, he can turn it on for stretches.
But Luka tried to, Luka always wants to be that guy for the stretches. You know what I mean? I just don't
working. Shouldn't he mature and evolve and say, hey, beating my head on the wall here? Like we've seen Luka before in this way. We saw Jordan early in his career. We saw LeBron early in his career. We've seen these ball dominant guys that can do great things AI, but eventually that don't work. So I feel like to have someone like LeBron to be able to, one, off the court, talk to him and show him, break down film with his skill set. I think they have similar skill sets, at least on offense, not on defense. I think that's be extremely valuable for Luka. But you think they just wouldn't be able to play together?
I don't think they'd be able to play together. You know what I mean? Now, off the court, most definitely LeBron can most definitely give him the IQ of the game. I think that'll most definitely help his growth then. But I think those two kind of a similar game because Luka don't play fast. He don't play above the rim as what LeBron did in his heyday. And LeBron is not playing above the rim now. So you're going to have two non-above the rim type guys. Like I said, I just don't think –
expect LeBron to say he still play below him. He can still bang on people.
He can still bang. Don't get me wrong, but it ain't the bang of 06 or 07.
Oh yeah, he ain't
got that.
08, 09. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, or stuff like that. So
the no cut headband, LeBron. Man, that boy was different. That boy was different.
But no, I just think that that's not what Dallas need. I think Dallas just need a solid big man that can come in and play the pick and roll with Luka, and who actually they can trust. Because obviously they don't trust Christian Wood or JaVale McGee or whoever else they got on. They trust the White Powell and Keebler, whatever your name is, man.
Yeah. You used to call that man the Keebler elf.
Chris, your thoughts on Kyrie and Dallas? Yeah, what do they do?
I'll say this. One, there's already no defense. You get LeBron, you really have no defense over there. You know?
Oh, I didn't say that part.
Oh man, you saying Bron ain't playing no D?
No, I'm just saying, like, you need when you have Luka and Kyrie, that's already two defensive liabilities. You'll hope your next wing can play some type of defense. LeBron's my guy. Y'all know how I feel about LeBron. At whatever age he's going into and whatever season he's going to, you think he's going to be the guy guarding your team's number one perimeter? No, hell no. What? So, but that being said, I'll say this. LeBron and Kyrie are special together. What they did, they championship runs on the court, that was one of the unsung duos, one of my favorite duos I was ever able to watch. When you add Luka into the mix, when I saw from LeBron this year that he's willing to take and he wants to take a step back to prolong his regular season and his longevity in the playoffs. The problem is AD didn't step up to the plate. So it forced LeBron to, that game 4, it forced LeBron to have a game like that with a messed up foot because Anthony Davis wasn't stepping up to where he needed to step up to. LeBron's ready to give the mantle on the team to somebody and kind of be the 1B, have somebody, be a 1A. So, on paper, it would be nice. It would be real nice over there in Dallas. But if I'm not mistaken, LeBron's under contract, so you have to trade something over there if you're Dallas. And what do you have to trade? Yes, you got that.
We don't want no Hardaway. We don't want no Powell. We don't want Keebler. We don't want none of that.
Exactly. But you're going to have to give up the little bit of depth that you already have, which is barely anything. You're going to have to give up that number 10 pick I think they have. So it's like you're trading for LeBron. And what are you going to have after that? So on paper, everything sounds nice. But I just don't know where that roster. Exactly. So
and this will go back to my Wemby argument. If you make that deal early in the summer and free agency opens up, and they got Luka, Bron, and Kyrie, you don't think veterans are taking minimums to go there?
100%. But are those veterans good? Vets going to take the vet.
LeBron James has a very unique ability to get veterans to come play. And they excel at critical moments.
Oh, you must gonna get Tristan Thompson. You gonna get JR Reed.
Real quick. Y'all can't tell me Tristan Thompson doesn't deserve to be in the NBA. So it's a lot of trash.
JR Smith coming back. And then next thing you know, Kevin Love gonna want to get traded down over there.
But look, though, we talk about veterans. They don't need vets over there. They don't need more vets. You already got 3 guys that's going to miss games because they begin injured.
LeBron don't want no young players.
They need something.
Dallas better go get Gabe Vincent.
They better go. They better find a way to bring Austin Reeves in the picture. But on a serious note, I don't know how what happened. I would be here for it. I would care to see how Dallas will move forward. And it'd be funny if they disappoint, don't even win a championship. Now you're looking at LeBron going into another team, which is another storyline that people are going to want to talk about. But yeah, I'm here for it if it happens. And if it does, I blame Anthony Davis on why LeBron wants to leave. It's nobody else's fault but Anthony Davis' fault. And real quick to your Kyrie thing, where he's going to go, I have no idea. For all we know, Kyrie could go to Phoenix. Kyrie could go to Miami, which I'd be here for. But I don't know where Kyrie ends up. I honestly thought that him and Luka pairing was going to be better than what it was. I thought those two together with a good roster would be scary in the Western Conference. So I kind of want them to run it back. But how
they gonna get a good roster though if they run it back?
I don't know. That's the all. I don't know how they put you might have to trade that first round pick and try to bring back somebody. You might. I'm not saying you will, but you have to do something out of the ordinary.
Deals, but
you have to do something out of the ordinary to make that roster better. But if I had to pick a landing spot for Kyrie, I want to see him in Miami. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I would love to see him in Miami if they can keep it Gabe Vincent. They somehow can get Kyrie down there after Jimmy Butler said he wants to play with Kyrie.
I really want that, or at least the perception of that.
I mean, Jimmy Butler had a bad perception before going down to Miami.
Did he?
That's fair.
Yeah, they were saying
They
They
was
saying he was destructive in the locker room when he was with Minnesota.
That
Okay.
he did a hit. He took a hit.
I'll go with that. Okay, yeah. I don't know if he fits the Miami culture and like the way they play basketball, but maybe. Kenny, I don't think I got
He gave Butler a starter, and you know, I mean, another.
And they would give
God
them
knows
another
he
closer,
needed.
that's for sure.
Doesn't get talked about enough. If Miami lose one of these close games, he passes up so many layups. It is frustrating watching.
We talking about Jimmy Butler, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. This wasn't the Jimmy Butler I saw round 1 and round 2. I don't know what is going on right now.
The basket
and he passes up for open 3. I think
Ben Simmons took over his soul.
Look, Doc Rivers was talking to him, and he must have gave Doc Rivers was talking to Spell. They said, and he must have gave Doc Rivers. He must have gave the same. I don't know what's going on. The secret sauce is gone, but Jimmy Butler, he needs to step it up. I'm not saying you got to put up 35 points, but you went from your points per game dropped almost 7 in the past 2 rounds because you're missing wide open shots. You're not confident in your jump shot. This is honestly as much hype as I was giving Jimmy Butler, saying that if he wins, he's the best player.
Oh, somebody backtracking.
I'm not saying I'm backtracking.
Oh boy, you
played
backtracking. You played DB, didn't you?
I'm not backtracking. But I'm not backtracking. When I'm looking to my left and my right, like, are we sure this the right coverage?
Let Bam Adebayo win Finals MVP. You gonna stand by that statement?
I gotta stand on that.
Nah, you can't. You gotta win MVP to be the best player.
Chris, you must have played DB, boy. You is backpack winning, man.
What if Jamal Murray wins though?
You said who?
Man,
we're not going down that road.
There's only one guy. I said
we're not going down that road. I'm gonna stand on what I said.
So here's another question I'll ask y'all, and actually I'll start and then I'll go. I've been a big fan of Rob Pelinka. I am a fan of Rob Pelinka. I think he's grossly underappreciated. I don't know what's going through his head. But if I was in his head and I saw what I just saw, I'm trying to get rid of LeBron James. I don't think there's a future here. And you're going to lose him for nothing soon to be stuck with AD alone. That is rebuild. And that's a bad rebuild, especially if Austin Reeves leaves and you lose a couple of these other young players that stepped up. I think you find yourself in a crazy hole with no way to recruit new players. The fastest way to fix this situation is to trade LeBron James. I would trade him for somebody that can play with AD because I think they can try to build around AD. Once it is AD's team, maybe he can kind of be New Orleans AD to an extent, just a more better professional version. But I don't think we'll ever get the best AD as long as LeBron's on that team because he's not mentally strong enough to take that mantle. If you get LeBron out the way, I think it allows him to usher in the same way Mikal Bridges looked like a totally different guy in Brooklyn away from Devin Booker and that mess in Phoenix. So I have been saying I want LeBron in Golden State. I stand by that, but I would move him. And maximize my value, get some draft picks, draft capital back for the future. I get that max deal off my books. Russell Westbrook will also be, or is already off my books. We got money to play and build around AD, and we can bring assets back via trade. I just don't think this team can win a championship as currently constructed, and I don't think they're going to get better as AD and LeBron get older. So I move at this point, and if Kyrie wants him, then maybe it's not a straight up. Maybe we got to get some other teams involved. But I also want to be respectful of LeBron. I'm not going to send him somewhere you don't want to go. So if the Dallas thing works for him, I try to make that happen. It's a win-win for everybody, in my opinion. I would probably not want to trade him in the Western Conference per se, but do I really fear him at this point? And I don't. So
yeah, that's fair.
That's what
I think. I that's interesting. I saw I saw a graphic. One of my friends posted on Facebook a graphic of LeBron, Kyrie, Luka, and Draymond. Like that's what they're trying to put together. So if that was to happen, like that would instantly make them a title contender. But I'm just not sure how they would be able to even fit
Hold on.
all of those contracts.
You said who?
LeBron,
I like
Kyrie,
that with a shooting center.
LeBron, Kyrie, Draymond, and Luka.
You playing 2K over there?
I'd rather have a
But it-
defensive
but
center
it's-
than a shooting center.
I mean, if you can get a guy that could do both,
Like who?
I'm trying to see where Draymond
You can't
fits
pay
in.
nobody at that point.
Draymond could be the point. He'll be the defensive, the defensive.
Draymond
back
guarding
line.
1-5.
He could be the point forward. All those guys could play off the ball. Not necessarily have to have the ball in their hands all the time, but it could be interesting. But I'm with everybody else, and of course y'all know that Kai's family, but I have no clue what he's going to do because I remember the last time there's a free, he was going into free agency with Boston, and we was at a family event, and I remember, I was talking to his dad, and I was like, yeah, have y'all decided what y'all going to do? He's like, nah, we haven't decided yet. We're going to take some meetings, and then we're going to decide. We already told Boston that we wanted to meet, blah, blah, blah. The next day he signed with Brooklyn. So I'm not putting nothing out there. I'm not going to tell you nothing in terms of knowing because they keep everything super close to the vest. The only thing I will say is for personal reasons, he would want to go to LA. So if that was to happen, I think that's what he would do. But that the point you make, Ray, about that state income tax, man, like I saw something on Twitter, I think, where they were breaking down Joker's contract.
Oh yeah, I saw that too.
I saw that where it was went from like 50 million to like 20, like he's paying like $20-something million in taxes.
Yeah, he pays like $1 million in the jock tax.
Yeah. I was like, yo, this is crazy. And so that state income tax makes a difference. Ask me how I know, because as a Floridian, I love not having no state income tax.
New York.
Yeah. Oh man, because you get to take a whole lot more money home. So having said all that, I have no clue, but LA would definitely be the place that he would want to go for personal reasons. So if I had to guess, I would say LA, but I don't know if it would be the Lakers or the Clippers, to Dev's point, because the Clippers, one, you have Kawhi and PG, and not only that, you got Ty Lue, who they got the connection from Cleveland and winning the championship together. So there's a few factors there that can make the Clippers a viable option as well.
Goes to play with Kawhi Leonard, they deserve whatever they get.
That's cold-blooded, man.
Like the man's broken. He's damaged goods. Get him out of here. I would not waste a second of my career going and play with that man. That's just me.
I'm not going to play with him. Going to take his spot because I know he ain't going to play.
Get all that money off the books and go get me some help. And good luck moving that contract.
They'll see that once I start making my own noise first.
This just came to my head. Let me know what y'all think. Would you consider a CP Kawhi Leonard swap?
Not if you're the Clippers. That's damaged goods for other damaged goods and older damaged goods.
That's like trading a flat tire for another flat tire.
They don't have a point guard.
I'd rather not
bring Chris Paul back.
I'd rather rock out with Terrence Mann and Bones Highland than Chris Paul.
Man, I'll run it back with Russ before I'm bringing CP3 over, man.
Right. I need to address something. I think it was you that said it. I was flabbergasted. It was either you or Dev. I can't remember. But it caught me off guard.
I stand in what I say, so talk to me.
Of course. It was just recent. We were talking about the LeBron AD thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was Ray.
It was Ray.
I feel like it was Ray.
Wait, say that again. I missed it.
LeBron and AD. So you don't think LeBron and AD could work together, right?
Yeah,
that was
that's
two.
right.
Yeah.
Two.
I don't think they could chip.
You said two.
Oh no, he said they can't win as they're currently
Currently constructed,
Win a
right?
chip.
I look at this last playoff run, and I look at a guy that's supposed to be in his prime, have terrible. And I'm talking about Anthony Davis. And this is supposed to be. He's supposed to take the step up. Had opportunities, and not saying they should have beat the Nuggets, but they could have won a couple games. They were in every single game. So
Yeah,
I can't sit up.
absolutely.
I can't sit up here and say that this team currently constructed can't win a championship when a few bonehead plays in the fourth quarter, and they could have been up 4-0. So not saying that this is a championship team, but if Anthony Davis plays like the Anthony Davis he did when he first got the Lakers, when he had something to prove, then it felt like ever since he got that championship, I haven't seen that Anthony Davis for 25 straight games since then.
Because he be in the street clothes.
So then that's who I'm grading. And again, I also said they get a year older. Like, I don't think they get healthier the older they get. And Austin Reeves, if they pay him, now I'm paid. So am I as motivated? I've seen he signed up to play Team USA basketball. So now you're not taking the summer off. Now
Did y'all see the team? Did y'all see the players that committed to this team so far?
Listen, it's early. It's early, but if this is the type of caliber player we're gonna have with 2004 Olympics when we got ran off the court.
You got Reeves, Edwards, Portis, Hollenberg, Bridges, Jackson Jr., and Ingram. So far committed.
Anywhere?
Ingram
wasn't an all-star this year. He was an all-star last year.
Halliburton.
Oh yeah, he was all-star.
So who's the bigs for this team? That's what I'm curious.
So far, Jared Jackson and Bobby Portis.
Oh, they're talking about Team USA.
Yeah. You're not going to get Bam because he's in the finals. He's the guy I feel like will always do it. It is early, but
in the past Olympics, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Bam was in it.
I know he probably won't play, especially till you're coming off the finals. Yeah, he probably won't.
I mean, after the Olympics, but Booker and Middleton and Holiday was on a flight like the next day after the last final.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I don't think.
Yeah. But that was the. I think there's a difference between the Olympics and the world.
I agree.
The world championship. So I think you don't. Yeah, you know what I mean. So I think it's a little easier to get guys to sacrifice for that. But yeah, this team ain't exactly blowing your socks off. That's for sure.
But I mean, you're still talking about NBA players.
Absolutely,
and
still a good
not
team.
to say
we don't know who else is gonna.
We don't know who else is
be named to the team.
And
it's
not to say,
so far, though,
it's not to say the overseas are cake or anything, but we gotta, these guys given the opportunity. Brandon Ingram gonna go off. That's the only person I care about.
If I'm New Orleans,
I didn't see him. He's on the team.
Yeah, him and somebody just accepted today. As the New Orleans Pelicans ownership group, I do not want to hear that you want to go play basketball this summer. You didn't play basketball this season. What are we doing here?
Ray is on one.
I'm telling you,
boy. In the same vein, people not playing basketball. The rumors are coming out that this John Morant thing might be a lot worse than I initially expected. The most recent update, for those of you who don't know, is Adam Silver said, we already worked with the Players Association and we got a decision, which leads me, and we're not going to announce it till after the finals. And I'm going to take an extreme view here, and I appreciate if you guys go along this journey. If you don't, you can turn around and leave.
I'm nervous.
But
I'm nervous.
Hold on. Let me get ready to exit this back door because I feel like
let me get my seat. Hold on to my seat.
My fingers on a big red X right now.
So I don't remember, and it's sad that I can't remember, but there was a time where it wasn't. I think it was Kyle Rittenhouse's trial, and before the verdict came in, they started boarding up the city, which led me to believe it was not going to be a good outcome. When Adam Silver comes out publicly and says, we got a decision, we've already talked to the NBA Players Association, and we're not announcing it until after the season, that leads me to believe, and all of a sudden reports just started coming out that NBA officials think half the season. That entire storm leads me to believe this is about to get ugly, and they do not want the distraction of that taken away from the finals. If it was going to be a 10 or 20 game suspension, I think they'd be perfectly fine to release that right now. That would be reasonable. That would be understandable. And I think that would be a non-story in a day or two. If we get 40 games to a year, that story ain't going away. Because now we're digging into the details. What actually happened? How did you go from 8 to this? What is the precedent? It becomes a much different story. So when I see all of that put together, and then Ja Morant allegedly unfollowed his friend, which leads me to believe that they probably told him, you better start doing some proactive things. When I got arrested a long time ago, before I went to court, I took a driving class. I got a regular driving ticket. I took the driving class before I went to court. So I could say, hey, I'm on the right path.
Mm-hmm.
Him finally unfollowing his friend to me is, hey, I went to traffic court or ACE or whatever the stupid class had.
No. Proactive, yes.
So I just think it's going to be bad. And I don't know how I feel about it yet because I haven't heard the number. But if it's half the season.
I saw a report that it's going to be 40 games.
That's a lot.
That's half the season.
That is a lot, and that's unpaid. And so with where he appears to be mentally and how he's handled stress in the past, if he gets hit with a 40-game suspension, so you got to be away from the team, you're not getting paid, but we do expect when you come back to be him, so you better be working for free. And the structure clearly is not there in Memphis to hold him accountable, I think this could get really ugly really fast. And I really hope I am wrong. I sincerely mean that because I like what he offers. I like what he represents. We talked about it a while ago. He should be the face of American basketball because we don't got a bunch of American-born players that are marketable enough.
Jaylen Brown.
No, he should be playing on that World Cup team too.
100%. 100%.
But I'm sure he's blown that opportunity.
So that was kind of my soliloquy on this. I hope we we joked about does David Stern want to draw this out, but nothing about what leads me to believe this is going to be a positive outcome for Ja Morant.
Yeah.
Coach, I'll turn it over to you for your.
No, you already said it, and like I said, the reports is 40 games. So we've been we talked about this for a while. I think the minimum is going to be 25 to 30. Like I think that at minimum is what he's looking at. But if the report is
Kenny, the fact that they work with the NBA PA also lets me to believe the appeal process will be useless.
Right. No, in other words, I think to me that says there is going to be no appeal process. To me, that says that we're all on the same page on this, and once this comes out, that's going to be it. So, like, this is bad all around for if I'm Ja. So this is like I said, this basically saying, look, we're all on the same page on this. We all agree on this. There's no need to do anything further. Once this comes out, this is it. So it's not good. And like I said, it's anywhere between 25 to 40 games is what he's looking at. 25 at the minimum, I think, is the lowest he'll get away with. But 40 games, man, that's half a season. That's tough, but you kind of put yourself in this position, and I'm glad I will say that I'm glad that he's kind of, taking some steps and watching the circle, because that's what I said. I think that what he needed to do is change the circle, because if the dudes around you is not insulating you and keeping you from staying out of trouble, then you got the wrong guys around you. So I'm glad that he's taking this step, and it seems like that's a step in the right direction. But it might, I think it's too little too late at this point, because it's already been decided. But I'm glad that he's doing it, because I think it's going to be in his best interest long term.
Chris, your thoughts?
For once, we talk about Shaddam and his conspiracy theories. I was 100% believe in everything you said, because it makes so much sense. Them not wanting to, if it like you said, if it was like a small suspension, yes, it'd be reported on, but it wouldn't be something that be taking over the media right now with the NBA Finals going on. But if they hit him with a half a season suspension, everybody's going to want to talk about that. So I'm with you. I don't think Adam Silver wants to take away from the finals, and
Shannon
I
Sharp
did.
not leaving undisputed if they suspended for 40 games. You got to knock down a little bit.
Yeah, that's funny. But I just saw a report saying LaShawn McCoy is one of the leading candidates. But back to John Morant. This
for undisputed.
Yeah, this is
okay. Yeah, I like Shaden.
I'm torn on what I want to see happen versus what I expect is going to happen. I'm at the point where before these reports, I was thinking maybe it's not going to be as severe. Maybe it's going to be 20 to 25. But it's all these reports coming out half a season. This is going to be some news for a while, and I'm curious to see what happens when he gets that suspension. What is his next steps, and what are the league's next steps, and then also what are the Memphis Grizzlies going to do? Because that's one thing that I haven't heard anybody talk about. What are the Grizzlies going to do moving forward? So I'm curious to see what that's going to happen, but. Hopefully this doesn't deteriorate John Morant's career, because he's one of the special talents and players we have in this league. Hopefully nothing like this happens again, and he can go out to be that all-star, all-NBA caliber player that we know him to be. But, yeah, half a season, you talk about a wake-up call. This needs to be as far as not getting in trouble with these off-the-court antics and let your on-the-court play be the best way to represent you.
Yeah.
Man, I told y'all this punishment was going to be severe when we first started talking about this. I said, man, for you to look a guy in this space and say, hey, I will do better. Promise you, Scout's honor, I will do better. And then you turn around after 8 games, that they slapped you on the wrist. All right, I don't do that again. You go turn right back around and do it right again. You know what I mean? That's a slap in the face. That's a spit in the face to me. And once I seen that happen, I said, oh, he's going to get punished. At first, I was thinking it was going to be a whole year. But, a whole year, I think that would have been too egregious. But half a year, I think that I might slap some sense into him now, man, because that's a half a year of salary that you do not have to feed your family now. That's a half a year salary that now your daughter kind of got to miss out, all because of you and your friend wants to, play around. Certain things can't be played around, and a gun and a black man is most definitely something that you just can't play around, man. It's just you just can't, man. And I'm hoping that Ja learns from this, man, because like I said, it's not a day go by until this punishment actually being seen by my kids that they keep asking me every day, what's going to happen to Ja in his career. That's all I'm getting almost every day. Like it got to the fact that I don't think my son is a Steph Curry fan no more. Like, yes, Ray, he's a diehard Warriors fan, but he asks about Ja more than anything. So, you know what I mean? So just to see, like, off of just that short spell that you kind of got kids, in glorifying who you are, just, off your name and what you do on the court, it's not a good look, man. So hopefully, you know, what I mean, this can be a step of him turning around. You know, what I mean, hopefully after this 40 or whatever games he gets suspended from, that he's able to come back being the electrifying point guard, somebody who deserved that tennis shoe and everything. He goes back to being who he was before. Hopefully, maybe.
Do we want him going back to who he was before?
And that's why I was saying hopefully and maybe. But at least his rookie and sophomore year, maybe. You know, I mean, the guy we were starting to grow to like. We like that trash talk. We like when he was like, "Yeah, I'm with the smoke. I'm climbing up the." You know, that was cool. But now you taking a little bit. Now I'm starting to feel like you is coming through somebody's chimney now.
Well, he's smoking that Chiba. Well, he talked about he want all the smoke.
Yeah.
Gilbert Arenas kind of mentioned something alluding to that. I won't go too deep on that side because I can't say that that's accurate. But I agree with y'all. I do hope that this is a wake-up call. It gets late early.
Real quick, Ray.
Go ahead.
What if Adam Silver says he's suspended for the year?
Whew.
I'd be shocked.
I'd be shocked too. I would be shocked. But what if he says this is your second strike? We gave you a real slap in the wrist on the first one. Just imagine, Kenny. Just imagine.
It's not that egregious to me.
Just imagine. But what if he gives him a year?
Here's where I disagree with you, Kenny. Adam Silver was in talks to take over for Disney. He is under a microscope in certain regards.
But he's a player's known as a player's commissioner, so I can't see him doing that.
And he does that because there's mutual respect. What John Morant did was to Dev's point. People are real accountable and accommodating when we cool. Once you show you don't really care about me, okay. Like, this is big business. Like I said, this was potentially the face of your franchise. You were potentially setting the NBA back, American basketball back, because you're an idiot. And you played me and made me look dumb. So typically, there's an overcorrection because we thought he was too light before. I think it's one of the, I don't think you can go, you either have to go half or all. I don't think you can go 3/4. So if he deems that half ain't enough, and I was actually watching Joe Budden's podcast earlier today, and they mentioned that if you do half the season and Memphis is maybe in that 9 spot, do you want him coming back being the hero? Is that the narrative you want?
Yeah, you're going to bring him back.
I say,
do Memphis not?
With the Western Conference, you can go from 9 to 5.
So you're saying you're not? Wait. So let me make sure I'm understanding right. Are you saying from Memphis' perspective, do you want him coming back to be here?
Adam Silver? Is that what you want? This guy's gonna, because the storyline is gonna be: is Ja gonna come back? Now we're waiting for Ja to come back. Are they gonna come back and make a run? What is his impact gonna be? That kind of undermines what I'm trying to do here. If now the narrative is, oh, he's about to come back and save them, or he come back and he's going nuts, or or now he wants to enter the dunk contest, or he wants to do some of this other stuff around All-Star Breaker, any of that kind of stuff, is that the publicity you want coming right off the suspension? Because likely in that scenario, it's going to be all positive stuff. It's going to be, what's he going to come back? What's he going to look like? It's going to dominate the headlines as he gets closer to a return. Is that what you want for your business? I don't know what that answer looks like, but I know how the media works, and I know it's going to be a circus if he gets half a year and he's coming back, and they could potentially make a run. I think it's a lot in play. I think there's ego in play. I think there's precedent in play, and we're going to get to another topic soon that sports going to have to figure out this gambling thing, but we'll get to that in a minute. But I just think when you go to New York and you just spit in my face, I don't know how Adam Silver responds to that because we've never seen him have to do that. I will say he has seemed recently, because I think him and Lebron had a bit of a spat. He seems to be a little more strict on some things. I forget what it was where I was like, that was a little different for Adam Silver, but it wasn't really player friendly. It wasn't a big deal, and I can't remember what it was, so I apologize, but I think that is a different kind of microscope. It's a different kind of pressure, and this was a different kind of respect. And we might got to show you so that the next person don't think they can keep playing with you, even if it's not breaking the law. But we'll see sooner than later. So yeah, it's 10:45. We can get to this. And this is a weird report. I don't know if y'all saw this, but there's a report of an Indianapolis Colts football player, obviously, potentially gambling. And weird that it came out that it's not a star, but it's someone that a lot of people would know. I don't know what the heck that means. I don't know why. That way. Just give us the name, like you always do. But
they put it on ESPN. It's Isaiah Rodgers.
Oh, did they? Okay, I had not seen.
And it's like a couple of more, ain't it? And like some more players that might have been involved in that too.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't see that.
From the Lions, I think. I saw something about the Lions, and I saw another Colt player as well.
So we've broached this question before, and we're here again. Like, what is this like? Do sports need to take the marijuana route with this gambling thing? Because it seems like between the refs and the players, something important might fool around and get decided by this no gambling stance. I know. I think it was Isaiah Rodgers. In this case, they said he was potentially betting on the Colts as well. So we saw when Calvin Ridley did that year. So is that the standard we're gonna start having when these situations come out, that we're throwing half a year to some of these players? Or does Roger Goodell and the old boys club need to figure something else out amongst other sports leagues? I'll start with you, Dev.
I think it's too late. You already gave Calvin Ridley a year. No, pretty much, yeah, you gave him a year, and then you gave him a year to appeal also. So it's just like you might as well keep it going now. Because the sucks part about this is players like Isaiah Rodgers. I don't know what his salary is, but can he afford being out for a whole year? You know what I mean? And if not, maybe we need to kind of look into this gambling, into like how marijuana gets looked into now, because it seems like everybody on each level, doesn't matter you're a ref, player, star, kind of, you know what I mean? You gambling somehow. You either doing it on a burner, you doing it blatantly like you don't care. You know what I mean? It's just like you're just doing it. So you might as well I think you have to find a rule to say that somehow, some way, that I guess sports betting is okay, because it's obviously it's not okay for somebody like a star to like get that family member say, "Hey, Dev, why don't you go ahead and place this bet for me, man, and I'll front you the money." You know, so it can kind of look like I'm placing the bet, but you fronting the money. But I guess, you know, if you're gonna if you're gonna be a crook, there's no such thing as halfway crooks. So
hey,
I guess you want to go full blown, man. But yeah, Ray, I just think that they need to find some common ground, because it looks like sports betting is going to be a problem, and doesn't matter what sport it's going to be in, because next thing you know, it's going to come up in baseball.
P. Rose, shout out to him. Which at this point,
and baseball is where the real money is at. So
man, you ain't never lied on that.
Chris, your thoughts as the resident gambler here?
I mean,
dang, put that man in the gambling.
No, like
he did.
Like you don't bet.
I quit. Y'all don't hear me talk about it no more.
You quit?
You can tell he quit. You ain't see his face. Look at his face. That's a man that said, "I lost too much."
I lost too much.
I bet on Apple
I
and
didn't know that.
these days. I ain't betting on these players.
But it's tough, because one, what are you betting on? Because there's so many different things you could bet on. But let's say you're betting on your team to lose, that's when you're kind of scratching your head. But if you've been on your team to win, it's tough. Me personally, it's too tough to the point where right now I would ban it until you find a way to properly structure it, properly know what these people are betting on. Because, like I said, if you're, let's say you're Isaiah Rodgers and you have to guard Julio Jones, and you bet Julio Jones plus 80 receiving yards against you, how do we not know you didn't give those receiving yards up? So it's tough. There's so many different things you can bet on. Unless they're flat out betting on their team to win, then I don't know if I will allow it until you find a way to really construct it. However, I don't know if I'm going to give the Calvin Ridley treatment and suspend you that long. What's up, Freddie? Suspend you that long. I don't know if I'm doing that. But yeah, I don't. When it comes to betting right now, I'm not for it with the players and refs until they find a way to really be more responsible and know what's going on. I'm so happy that Celtics referee is now under investigation. That put a smile on my face because this is like I don't understand you. Listen. If you go on Twitter before a game and they announce the refs, you know who's going to win and lose, especially with this guy. How your whole family are Celtics teams and Celtics fans and nobody, and then you're still reffing the Celtics.
On Adam Silver.
So yeah, I do think, however, though, both leagues need to look at, because sports betting is so popular, how can you I'm going to say the word control. How can you control it in a sense of if you're going to allow your players to bet, if you're going to allow your players to bet, you should know what they're betting on.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this before. To me, it's along the same lines of marijuana. Like we gotta get our heads out of the sand and come off of this moral high ground. Like it's a part of society, and it's a huge part of society, and you're benefiting from it. Like you are in bed with these guys, you're in partnership with these guys. You have all these different entities. You have all this content that's created to betting. Like it's a part of today's sports world. Like I remember, I mean, like, and I'm sure you guys read the paper. Like there's sections in the paper that's devoted to betting. Like that was never a part of the sports section back in the day. So like it's literally a part of our society, and for them to like try to take this high, to take this moral stand on this, like to me, it's just ridiculous. And it's just time to enough is enough. I think the other problem is, though, to Dale's point, like if you do that, like what do you do about the people that lost money and got suspended, because of these rules that then you turn around and change? Now, are you gonna give these people
lost his career?
You know what I'm saying? Like, are you gonna give them their money back? Are you gonna give them their money back? That they lost because they got suspended. And then you turn around, and change, and reverse course. So I think it's a Pandora's box and it's an issue. But I still haven't said all of that. I still think it's time for them to just relax these rules on this and just really, maybe. I think you have to. I think my final statement. I think what you have to do is make a rule that guys are allowed to gamble, but they just can't gamble on the NFL. I think if you do that, I think that would, make it because that makes sure that you keep the integrity of the game and all of that. You don't have to worry about that. And if you do that, I think that gives these guys still the ability to be able to, get their fix, or for lack of a better term, and still be able to bet. Be able to bet their money or wager. It's not something I do, but a lot of people are into it. So give them an opportunity to still be able to bet, but just can't bet on NFL games. I think that's the solution.
I'll say this, Kenny, and I like what you said. Maybe when the season starts, you shouldn't be allowed to bet, because there's so much things with betting, right? You could say, say, oh, I want to bet on the NFL. Okay. Bet who you think is going to win the MVP. Do those before the season bets. Bet who you think is going to win a championship. Bet who you think is going to win your division. But when the season starts, you shouldn't get this guy off the screen.
Yeah, Freddie, go to sleep.
Get this guy off the
Thank you.
screen.
I was waiting for y'all to get done.
Just firing,
get this-
taking up a
Get
lost
this guy off
time,
the
just
screen.
firing.
Get this guy off the screen.
Yeah.
Who do you like in the NFL? Is it the Rams? Is it the Giants?
Or the Packers?
know.
No,
Let's move on.
he's a Jets fan now.
Don't
But
give this guy no. Don't give this guy no
let's
life.
no airtime for this guy. But back to my thing. I mean, no, actually, I'm gonna be a defensive back, like Dev said. You're not betting on nothing. Don't bet on nothing. It's so much you could bet on. You're not betting on anything. You want to be an NFL player and bet? Go bet on baseball. That's where the money's at. Go bet on the finals. Go bet on hockey. You can wait till 2 a.m. You could bet on Korean basketball.
College trip.
But
why are we doing it? So y'all want these guys that want to bet, so they can't bet on the one sport they know the best.
I'm just saying, I'm trying to give them an alternative so they can still,
if you're not betting against your team, who cares? Like, what are we talking about? I should be able to say that Lamar Jackson is going to beat Kyler Murray this week if I play for the San Francisco 49ers.
Well, here's what I counter with this, though, Ray. I would think that as an NFL player, like, you could have some insight to some things that the normal person wouldn't know.
And I should be able to use that insight.
But that could be
that sound like what's that?
Insider trading.
I was good enough to become an NFL player, so I know if you go out and become better, you can get this
that goes to the integrity of the game. Yeah, you can't have that.
That's nothing's in jeopardy.
But back to what I said though. Back to what I said.
Integrity of the game for me.
Let's say you're Isaiah Rodgers. Let's say you're Isaiah Rodgers, your defensive back. Look. Right. Let's say you're Isaiah. Matter of fact, let's say you're Isaiah Rodgers. Or matter of fact, who's your favorite defensive cornerback on your team?
They say the rookie's really good, but let's go. I just want to say Kendall Jenner.
That's how you know your team was garbage. But, who's your favorite defense on your team?
Let's go Kyle Fuller. All right,
let's say Kyle Fuller. You're going against AJ Brown, right? And you're betting, and you say I think AJ Brown is going to have 100 yards. The reason why I feel like you should not bet in that circumstance is because some will say you don't know. Oh, I'm just going to let him get this 100 yards. It's AJ Brown, but he's just going to get this 100 yards.
So you're going to risk ruining your ability to make long-term money, win a football game, hit your incentives for bet.
Listen, you don't know what these
for a $10 bet.
Listen, let's first of all, they $10, 10,000.
Yeah,
but
ain't no $10.
But that's what I'm saying, right? Look, it sounds
And historically, AJ Brown's probably gonna get 100.
Look though, you say they're not going to risk it.
But
we see these athletes risk do dumb stuff all the time. We see these athletes do dumb stuff all the time.
So if I'm betting that he's gonna be great. And he is great. Well, I'll probably get fired soon if I keep betting like that. If I keep betting that people are going to cook me and then they actually cook me, I probably won't be employed.
How did you get employed in the beginning?
Right.
That was good.
I'm not. And who's betting on
the So you was good before sports betting, and then once sports betting came, you became trash.
On themselves to get cooked.
So
who's going to do that?
Ain't
no athlete going to do that.
Baker Mayfield's going to bet the over on 1.5 interceptions. Like, what are we talking about?
Listen, it sounds very good, but man, you don't know what these players going to do. Let's talk about a guy that's not on a big contract.
My man gonna wake up and say, "You know what today, guys? I'm getting cooked today. I'm getting this $10,000."
Chris, the guy not on a big contract probably won't have a big impact. So I still don't care.
I think it should just be no betting on the league you're in, especially in season.
I mean, I get that
because I think that's the rule in all of the other sports, if I'm not mistaken.
And these old rules need to be changed and modernized. This is dumb.
But I'm not going to. With betting now, how it's so much to do. Well, that's why I think until they figure it out, or unless they have their own.
They couldn't even figure out if players can take a kney or not, man. So I know
That's why I
they
started
is,
laughing. That's
they
why I
is
started laughing.
not going to figure this out.
Unless you
You're
have
right
your
about
own gambling thing where it's on the NFL players, only NFL players can do it. You know, maybe let them win that
Or even
fine
in
money back.
sports,
That goes
all
nowhere.
culture. We watch boxing refs rob people every
I
week.
would never bet on boxing. The only time I bet on boxing is when Tank fight and I bet knockout.
Like the Black Sox scandal, Pete Rose tanking. Like we
that
saw what
referee
Dallas
that
did.
cost
We saw what Dallas did at the end of this last season. They got fined for it. It's the same thing. People are manipulating and tanking and doing all. It's all the same thing. You want to talk integrity? Dallas quit.
I bet you
100.
every time Doc Rivers is up.
They had healthy players and just benched them.
Every time Doc Rivers is up 3-1, 3-2, I bet you he put all his money on.
My man
team
Jason
coming back
Kidd
and
was
winning.
like, what Jason Kidd say?
Because I wanted to talk
told.
about Doc Rivers today, so I'm going to say it.
Why you gotta why one man catching strays, man? Leave Doc
Catching
alone.
strays, man.
He
What
is
happened?
great. Put him out the pass.
What happened?
I said, I bet you whenever Doc's up 3-1, 3-2 in the playoffs, he puts all his money on the other team to come back and win.
Oh,
disrespectful.
That's what I said.
oh, my goodness.
Back to back.
Disrespectful.
There was actually another topic.
I'm sorry.
wanted
I'm
to
sorry,
get
Doc
to-
Rivers.
We did have a Doc topic though.
We
might need to-
we can bring the Doc topic back because he probably won't have a job anyway. I did also. Did y'all see? And I'm going to tease this, and we can pick it up on Thursday if there's time. Did y'all see the Ryan Garcia, Oscar De La Hoya back and forth?
A little bit of it.
A little bit of it.
I saw that Twitter exchange.
Yeah,
Like that's bad. Like
yeah, it is.
It seemed like
And then
somebody
he's their last-
agreed to go
he's their last-
Showtime.
I was just about to say he's their last cash cow, if I'm not mistaken. So he definitely.
Nah, I think you still got what you call him. You still got Canelo.
Nah, he been left.
he's with his own.
Yeah, he been left. He been left. Golden Boy. He got his own.
Oh,
He was bigging up Floyd and
Matter of fact, you know what?
Fight.
He's actually with Eddie Hearn, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think that's the zone. I thought they the ones that started that.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like that's his promoter now.
Yeah,
Garcia needs to go ahead, go with Floyd, and reset your career real quick, man.
Ryan,
Yeah, because that zone is
showed me
trash.
more love.
he said Tank camp showed him more love than his own camp.
That's wild.
Like that, ain't everybody getting fired. I don't care if you're family or not.
Has no faith in Garcia's boxing ability and just wants him to take these big money fights.
Yeah, but don't nobody want to see. I don't blame him though. Like if that's what they're offering him to fight Pacquiao, I would be mad too because Pacquiao's a has-been.
A few years ago, when it was
that's
when
not
I first,
fight.
I feel like this was something that this was. Wasn't he supposed to fight Manny Pacquiao like 4 years ago?
That was talk.
I don't know, but I definitely don't want to see him fight him now. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
man.
So
I'm saying like maybe 4 or 5 years ago when I
being
felt like
mad.
I heard that I would have been interested, but nobody wants to see that now.
nobody
Go
wants
fight
to
an
see
Isaac.
that.
Go fight.
Pitbull.
Well,
I'd rather see him
yeah.
fight Pitbull.
Me
I'd rather
too.
see him fight Rolly. I'd rather see him.
I
fight.
definitely would like to see him fight Rolly. I ain't gonna.
Yeah, like I think
I would like to see him fight Rolly. That's a good fight.
Hey, I don't bet, but if them two fight, I'm betting on.
I'm betting somebody's getting knocked out.
And you know the lead up and the build up will be super entertaining. Both of them talk slick.
You ain't gonna understand what Rolly say. Hey, yo, man, you got low heat, man.
Dang, can't be talking bad on people with speech disorders. But nah, it'd be kind of difficult. I ain't gonna hold up. Oh, cool. I definitely am interested to see. There are rumors that this is reminiscent of when Oscar was trying to get out of his deal, and he had to sue his promoter to do so. So we will see if it leads to that. And what's next? Because I don't know if the Golden Boy camp stable is real strong these days.
Yeah, it's not. That's the only big fighter I know of. Unless y'all know, I don't know of any other big fighters in Golden Boy right now.
They're gonna bring back Adrian Bron, boy.
Listen, man. AB was. I'm tired of saying this, but AB was supposed to be one of them ones, man.
Don't get me started on that. That was that. He's such a disappointment, man. I don't even want to talk about him. Gets me upset because I had such high hopes for that dude.
By now he'd already fought.
Honestly, I'd have thought he would have been
Crawford,
with Tank is.
Spence.
Honestly,
Yes,
he had the skill set to be one of the great ones, man.
he'd probably would have fought everybody by now. He'd have fought Canelo.
He'd
have fought Spence.
He'd have fought Bud.
He should have just stayed at. He should have stayed between 135 and 140.
Yeah.
As soon as he went up to welterweight, everything went bad.
Mm-hmm.
Power didn't translate, and you and you don't throw enough punches, and you don't block enough punches.
Because he can.
Those are bad combinations. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all. We will have at least one more game. This 2 nights off is trash. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm glad for the players though.
You said you liked it.
I say it for the players as a fan.
Okay.
What you want them to play every night?
No, he said every other night.
I like it visually. Now, in the finals, again, I think you earned that extra night of rest, so I understand it. But I wish there was something else to watch in between. They need to have like a losers tournament going on at the same time. I watched the Rockets,
like the NIT.
Play the Blazers or something.
You will watch the Pistons. I watch the Pistons in the Rockets right now.
Yeah,
I'm lying. I'm lying. By the way, I don't want to watch that.
I will watch the Spurs battle to see if they deserve to keep that number 1 draft pick.
Versus who? Who deserves it more than the Spurs?
They should have like
the Hornets. The Hornets came second, right? So it had them battle it out to see.
I'll be honest. Yeah, I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him in San Antonio. I don't want to see him in San Antonio anyway.
No, I would.
That's actually
instead of doing a lottery each year, you know what I mean? You just have teams
coming for it.
Everybody that tanked them top 2 teams. Now let's see if you actually have talent.
Because there was 4 teams left, right? When they break it down, it's 4 teams.
Pretty much.
I think with the highest odds. Actually, I'm with that.
Versus
that.
Because he keeps talking about these in-season tournaments. Nobody want in-season tournaments, so let's have a tournament for this number 1 pick.
Hey, I didn't know I would like playing, and now I love it. So
yes,
Adam Silver. I think I just still don't understand the in-season tournament, but I'm going to reserve judgment until I see it. Because
true,
you like the playing now, only because your Wizards won't have a chance to actually make the playoffs.
You do realize that's how the Heat are still in through the play-in. Like there was a bunch of teams. The
Lakers got through.
All I know is me and Kenny team. We ain't win nothing, but we was in the playoffs the right way, right, Kenny?
We were.
But some strange reason, my Lakers got further than both.
I was about to say what good it did for us. It ain't too much good.
I was gonna say, hey, you think about it though, Kenny. If there's no play-in, y'all could still be playing. So
they got smacked by the Bucks, man. Let's be honest, man.
Do we know that?
Yeah, I agree. Say
Giannis wasn't
playing.
I don't know.
Giannis played that last game and just
But I'm saying if he wasn't healthy,
but he wasn't a factor though.
We don't know that, but that's not here no there.
So I don't know. We're gonna see, but we shall return. We shall overcome. And let's have a safe evening, everybody. We out. As soon as this thing done. There we go.
You don't know. We gonna sit here like mannequins now.
Listen, while we still here, y'all lucky I didn't get a chance to talk about Doc because I was gonna go off today.
I bet you were.
Hey, time, let's go.
We bring that real talk when it comes to sports, covering the news, giving you the truth. Nothing but that real on hoops in the league. All things NFL, we don't miss a thing. Kenny with the coverage, we loving it all day. Picking up the news, tell us wherever the ball lay. With the NFL, NBA, they box so. Sports news in the hands of a man with fair takes. Telling coach, statistics and realness that's being spoke. Either hit it for the win or they hitting the goal posts. Either way, we woke up to the news of the day. Any kid he could call it. He like to talk it out with Ray. Fast breaks down the lane. They better move out the way, or they pulling from perimeter. Curry bury the trade. Yeah, they got it. Woo! Duval with the hottest. Chris and Dev like to master and mix it up like it's Logic being modest. They been looking for that real, trying to get it feel. Sports podcast, they run it back on the real. That's a steal, yeah. They never sick, but they ill. Real sports talk going, deliver, signed and sealed. We bring that real talk when it comes to sports, covering the news, giving you the truth. Nothing but that real on hoops in the league, all things in the